There is a strange tragedy hidden in plain sight. Most people never become who they could have been. Not because they are weak, not because they lack intelligence, not because life didn't give them a chance, but because, slowly, almost invisibly, they stopped becoming and started adapting. Imagine a bird that never learns it can fly. It walks for so long that the ground becomes its whole world. It stops looking up, it stops questioning, it stops trying, and it calls that limitation life. This is how most human lives are shaped, not by one big failure, but by thousands of small moments of surrender. A word they believed, a failure they accepted, a fear they never challenged. Over time, these moments build something powerful, not success, but identity. Psychologists call this conditioning. From the day you were young, you were being shaped by family, by school, by culture, by expectations. You were given answers before you even learned how to ask the right questions. Who you should be, what you should fear, what is possible for someone like you. And slowly, those voices stopped feeling external. They became your inner voice. This is just who I am. But what if that is not true? What if that voice is not your identity, but your training? Because most limits are not real. They are learned. Like an elephant that grows up chained to a small stake. It struggles as a child and fails, and so it stops trying. Years later, it is strong enough to break free, but it never tests the chain again. The limitation is no longer in the rope. It is in the mind. And this is where most people remain stuck, not in prisons of iron, but in prisons of belief, invisible walls made of doubt, fear, comfort, and repetition. But here is the truth that changes everything. Every transformation begins the moment you question what you were told about yourself. The moment you ask, "What if this is not all I am?" Because the person you think you are and the person you could become are not the same. One is inherited, the other is built. And to become who you were meant to be, something must happen. The old version of you must be challenged, not destroyed, released. The fear that kept you safe must be outgrown. The identity that kept you small must be questioned. And the moment you step outside what feels familiar, you begin to see something terrifying and beautiful at the same time. You were never meant to stay inside the cage. You were only meant to outgrow it. And when you finally do, you realize something simple. The limits were never real. They were only believed. And what you thought was your ceiling was only your beginning.